So I'm gonna be honest. I tried. I really tried. I got to a point where some blonde lady was fighting the wife to be in a pool, and then she drops her necklace, and the evil blonde lady picks it up. I tried twice to watch this movie. Here's the thing, and this is why I said we gotta stop watching movies, was because of this Baywatch.
Is it really that bad?
Yes and no. The movie itself isn't bad. The problem is I have zero connection to any person that's in this movie. So I have to try to figure out who these people are, who they relate, and I'm sitting there watching, like, realizing I don't give a crap if these people live, die, or crap watermelons and then eat them, because they're so pointless to me. That was the biggest problem, is that I'm put in a situation, I don't want to blame this on you, but I'm put in a situation where I'm watching the very last thing of something that I've never experienced before this. So I have no knowledge of what's coming up before this. So I don't know who any of these people are.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of story that's there where, like I said, they really assume you watch the series to watch the movie.
I just remember there was one lady in there that, if I get the story right, she was dating a guy, they broke up, she's dating another guy, her best friend's now dating the guy that she was dating, and they're in a pool fighting, having a fun fight where they're pushing each other off of their shoulders, and then the two girls get out, and the one that was dating the guy who was dating now her friend was saying how he still loves her, and I'm sitting there going, first off, all these people sound like hoes. This girl's going out with the guy not because she even cares. This guy's going out with her because he's got nothing else to do, and this other guy is dating this girl who this one guy still likes, and he's questioning it, and the other girl is like, yeah, he still likes me, yeah, I guess I like you. It's the most jacked up situation, and I'm sitting there going, this is the kind of stuff in life I avoid. Why do I want to watch a movie about it?
They wanted to do a reunion movie, which means getting all the original actors back, including the girl Alexandria Paul, who played Stephanie, whose character died during the show. So they brought her in as a new character. She's the villain, and she had plastic surgery to purposely look like the Stephanie who died. They had to do this because, like I said, it's the same actress.
Is this the one that was fighting in the pool with the lady?
It might have been. Like I said, it's been a minute since I watched it.
I'd say she was the one with a really bad blonde dye job, but I just
No,
75% of them.
She had short, dark hair. David Hasselhoff was in love with her in the beginning of the movie, and he was going to marry her. It's a wedding that's happening. It's supposed to be David Hasselhoff is marrying the girl he's in love with because she looks like the girl he loved who died in one of the episodes of the show. And it's the same actress. So badly written. I would rather that they wrote it that Stephanie just never died and just pretended that never happened instead of doing all this. Because number one, as a fan, and keep thinking it's Stephanie every time I see her, and it's not Stephanie, I'm getting confused watching the movie. And it's not like this is the best written movie to begin with. This whole movie is literally just so you can go and look at Pamela Anderson and all the girls from Baywatch again. That's really what it's all about. Yeah, it's a confusing story. If you've never watched the series, and I don't know why I recommended it to you, I am sorry I did that. I didn't know you could have ruined your entire love for the genre of movies.
You have to think about it this way, is that what if you had never watched Saved by the Bell and like, hey, dude, you guys see the Saved by the Bell movie. It's the Saved by the Bell wedding.
I don't know. I can't.
And going in like, I don't know who any of these people are. I'm supposed to be concerned about them. I just couldn't. And you bring up a good point, is maybe the problem was I was watching this movie with both my hands outside of my pants.
That might have been it.
And that could be a big problem right there.
Baywatch as a show is one of the most tone-deaf programs on television. It really is a totally tone-deaf program. The only time that they ever treated a sensitive topic with any kind of kid gloves is when the Special Olympics literally had a person from the Special Olympics on set to make sure they didn't fuck this up. Everything else, from midgets or dwarves or whatever the proper term is nowadays.
Dude, I think you call them fire blasters.
From fire blasters to cancer to orphans, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. The whole show is about tits and ass, and they're trying to make it where it's not that. But it is. Because even David Hasselhoff is like, our show is more than just girls showing their bodies off. It's like, no, dude, it's not. It's not. You have a story just so there's something that happens during the program, and it's not just a bunch of girls walking around in bikinis. 1 billion people every week would watch this show. And I'm like, yeah, it's out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's like, if you're in a country that doesn't have porn, which is where I did really well in India.
What about China? Did it do good in China?
I don't think they let it in China. In India, oh my God, when they say 1 billion people every week watched it, it. Most of those people were in India. It was huge.
It's like the South Park episode, and I don't remember what episode it is. It's where Dan's father, I think, goes to like a sperm bank or something.
He doesn't masturbate for a certain amount of time, and then when he finally does, he explodes all over the place or something like that.
Exactly. He just like repeat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think of. I guess India watching Baywatch. It's like Baywatch time, and that's what that's the look they have when it's finished.
If you ever watch like the opening credits to Baywatch, they will show all these people who most of them you don't even see in the episode that you're watching. They had such a huge cast, and it was just so they could have an episode where like 3 or 4 people aren't in this episode, but they'll be in the next one, and then 3 or 4 people from this episode won't be in that one. And it's too big of a cast. It really is. The only person who's in like every episode is David Hasselhoff. Everybody else, you might see them, you might not see them.
Well, going back to Baywatch movie, I did want to mention something. Is that it seemed like the general consensus was, oh, Mitch is getting married to that super skank full beast woman. I'm going to go ruin it. And then they get there like, oh, Mitch, I hope that you're going to be happy. And she's such a great girl. And I was wrong for thinking that I was going to kill you and kill her too. And I just want your general happiness. It seemed like that's what they're doing. It's like everyone had this ulterior motive and they meet up and then that ulterior motive is just gone.
Mitch's character in that show and in the movie, he's always very close to being the Steve Buscemi, hey, what's going on, kid? You know, he's like this guy who's 40-something and he's trying to hang out with the 20-somethings. If you've ever worked in a place where you were the manager and you had a bunch of younger people underneath you, that is pretty much what Baywatch is like, except also like he is not against sleeping with some of them. Yeah, he doesn't sleep with all of them. In fact, he only sleeps with like a few of them. But there's like, you know, they hit that even, they even try hitting at one point that maybe he might get together with Pamela Anderson's character, which he didn't really like Pamela Anderson, which is in the movie, they only share like 1 or 2 scenes together, and they were the biggest names from the whole show, and it had to do with the fact that she had the Playboy spread, and she had the video that came out, and Hasselhoff, he spent his entire time trying to, I guess, fool himself into thinking the Baywatch was a show that it wasn't. He thought the Baywatch was a family show, like you're gonna sit there and watch it with your kids, unless you're trying to teach your kids stuff that you shouldn't be teaching them.
Son, I'd like you to learn how to swim. Unfortunately, we live in Arkansas where there's no oceans and we don't have a pool. So just watch Baywatch and figure it out.
The only way your kids are watching it is if they're watching it and you don't know about it, unless there's something wrong with you. The show itself, it's one of those where it's a good show for the wrong reason. It's not an Emmy Award winning best story I've ever heard. I can't believe the acting, none of that. It's all about, wow, the girls are really hot, and I can't believe they just said that about small people.